Hello everyone, my name is Dipayan. I'm a CRM consultant at Simply Dynamics. Today I'm going to show you a demo of Dynamics 365 for customer service. Before I move on to the presentation and the demo, we'll just quickly have a look at the agenda. So, first item on our agenda is what is Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Service. Then we'll look at why choose Dynamics 365 for customer service. We'll look at the benefits of compounding benefits. Why is it better than other solutions out there? Why choose it? And we'll also have a demo on the module. We'll have an experience of a day in the life of a customer service rep, and then we'll also talk about key integrations. So let's look at the first agenda. What is Dynamics 365 for customer service? It's an all-in-one solution, industry standard leading solution, and it's powered by AI, which is Copilot. Customer service is one of the area where AI is well positioned. Think about the amount of data that customer service agents are expected to handle. This is where AI comes in with the ability to gather and summarize information from variety of sources. So if we deal with a case and if we have a lot of activities related to a case, Copilot seamlessly summarizes all the activity together on the timeline so that it becomes clear for the customer service rep to understand what is going on with that particular case. So that is where AI comes in handy, and it is well positioned with customer service because there is a lot of data that comes in from the customer, and it becomes very difficult for to handle it manually, and AI just does it perfectly. And Dynamics 365 is an all-in-one solution that brings together account management, case management, knowledge management, and a number of other features to create this industry-leading customer service solution. Again, it is AI powered, and increasingly so it might not strike immediately that customer service is the solution where AI is most leveraged, but there has been number of examples where Microsoft themselves has been transforming their own customer service operations, where they have been applying the same processes that they have in their customer service module to their own operation, and they have quite a bit of evidence on their learn.microsoft website as well, where they have streamlined their operation quite a bit. If you look at our next agenda, which is why choose Microsoft Dynamics 365 for customer service. So there are a number of reasons, but mostly the compounding benefits of the solution has been the major factor. So when we look at the diagram on displayed here, we can see that Power Apps is at the top of the Power Platform hierarchy. So Dynamics 365 is built on top of the Power Platform. So it is essentially a Power App. So Microsoft has been working on Power Platform, which is essentially a low-code, no-code tool. And the Power Apps are built using the Power Platform, and you can customize those Power Apps using minimum amount of code. So you don't need a lot of technical expertise to do the basic customizations. And also there are other compounding benefits like there are other solutions like Power Automate, Power Pages. So you can use Power Automate to automate your existing workflows. Customer service out of the box workflows also has different Power Automate processes. You can customize them on Power Platform as well, and then you can also use Power Pages to create a portal where a customer can go and check the resolution of their case, track the progress of the case. So this is how a Power App is positioned within the Power Platform environment, and this is how we can leverage Power Platform to extend, customize the existing out-of-the-box app tailored to your needs. The second major benefit would be faster time resolution and increased first call resolution. When we talk about faster time resolution, it's all about automated case routing. Cases are instantly routed to the right agent or queue based on skill, priority, or workload. So we also have an option within the customer service to create separate queues, separate channels, separate work streams. So a particular case, which for example, if a gold customer creates a case, opens a case, and we need to allocate that customer to a gold queue so that right person, right escalation engineer works on the case. So this is how we can separate those channels, we can separate those queues tailored to your needs. And there are many other benefits of using the customer service module, but here are a few major benefits. And then when we talk about increased first call resolution, it provides a 360 view, customer view. Agents have the full visibility of customers' profile, their accounts, their past cases, orders, interaction history. So we have all of it on the timeline, which I'll show you when I do the demo. Then we also have embedded knowledge base. So knowledge base is something that is something we can create. We can create our own knowledge base, or we can use Copilot to make it learn and create a knowledge base of its own. Suppose if we have a X case, and it's for a particular issue, and the customer agent has solved that issue, so we can create a knowledge base based on the steps that he has followed, so that it remembers whenever a next case, XYZ case, comes next in the future with a same issue. We can always, the customer service rep can always refer to that knowledge base, so that it becomes quicker for the representative to provide a solution and better customer service. And we have AI Copilot assistance. Like I said, AI is positioned at a very high level in customer service, because we have a lot of data, and AI positions itself to summarize the data and present it in a much better way to the representative, so that they can provide good solution to the customer. So we have unified case handling across channels. So when the customer reaches out via different channels, like earlier, few years ago, customers would only reach out via emails, but now everything has changed. The entire customer service landscape has changed. Customers are reaching out via different platforms: Instagram, Twitter, phone calls, chats, email agents. So they can reach out to us by different platforms, and the cases can be automatically routed to the specific queue where they should be going. Now, customer service as a whole is a huge module. It's not possible for me to show the demo of everything in this short video, but I'll try my best to give you a brief of what this module holds, what are the core features of this app. So you can see the diagram here. It's customer management overview. So customer service is revolves around cases. So we'll do case management, we'll be creating cases. So post cases, there is something called service level agreement. Then comes our entitlement. So what is an entitlement? Those are support agreements that we have something in place with the partner or a customer. And then we have service level agreements. Is the time resolution, is the time frame within which we'll solve their query, something of that sort. We'll go through those when we have the demo. And then we have something called unified routing. So unified routing, I've talked about this before. Like when I talk about omnichannel, it's about creating cases from different channels, be it Instagram, be it Twitter, be it WhatsApp, be it Facebook, because the customer landscape has dramatically changed, and customers can come up with issues from any platform. So having to save those conversation and convert them into cases is something what's involved in omnichannel, and that is called unified routing. So if we look at the customer management overview here, so before moving forward, I can say that there are two types of customer that you will be dealing with, either accounts or contacts. Dynamics 365 for customer service gives you an opportunity to work with both B2B and B2C customers. And it also gives you a hybrid way of working with different types of customers. So the best thing about Dynamics 365 for customer service is it's connected with Dataverse. Dataverse is it's a cloud Azure SQL that is hosted in that Microsoft hosts in cloud. And The entire Power Platform is connected to Dataverse, so we can extend all the entities that are involved with different modules, like suppose sales modules or field service, and then we want to customize our own thing and we want to connect them with our customer service module. So we can do that. We can extend that because it's built on top of the Dataverse and Power Platform. And if in CS we will be majorly working with case management, the entire life cycle of a case we will work through when we do the demo. I'll show you how we can create a case manually, or how a case is automatically created or routed to different channel. That is done via Power Automate. I might not be able to show you the entire process, but I'll give you a good overview of how these things work out. So what is a case? So cases are basically designed to process from the initial intake of an incident. So what does that mean? It can be anything. It can be a question, it can be a request, it can be an issue. All these three things can be converted into a case. For example, a customer can come up with a question about a product, about a query. That can be converted to a case. Or it can be a request. It can be a support request, it can be a training request. That can be converted to a case again. Or it can be issue, defect with the product, or anything of that sort again. So it can be anything. It's an initial intake of an incident. That's what a case is. So when we work with customer service application, we'll be able to create different activities. So activities can be a phone call, email, appointments. So what are they? They are just interactions between you and the customer. These activities can be converted to a case if needed. So case creation can be done in two ways: manual case creation and automatic case creation. Manual case creation I'll show you when I jump on to the module demo, and automatic case creation is rule-based case creation. So it's done via Power Automate or business. If you can have certain business rules, so if any email comes, or if you get a phone call or anything, or if you get a query, or if from different channel like say Twitter, so Power Automate will automate those queries into a case depending upon the business rules that your organization needs. So when I show you the demo of the customer service application, I'll be doing on the customer service hub application. Customer service hub application is basically used for configuring the module, and it has a bit more functionality. But as a customer service representative, you will be working in customer service workspace, where because it gives more flexibility to the customer service representative in working in multiple workspaces, multiple session experience. So you'll be able to communicate with different customer at the same time. But in case of customer service hub application, if you open a case, you can only open one case at a time. So that's the basic difference between customer service hub and customer service workspace. With this in mind, let's jump onto the demo part of the video. So here you can see this is the module. I don't have a lot of data. I'm using a sample data. So if I choose a list of application published on this environment here, I can see 27 apps already published, and I can see there is a Copilot Service Admin Center, Copilot Workspace, and Customer Service Hub. So Copilot Service Workspace is the customer service workspace that I was talking about. And if you want to configure something, you can always move on to the Copilot Admin Center, which will help you configure like routing, queues, and work streams and things like that. So here is the main page of Customer Service Hub. I'll be using Customer Service Hub for the demo, and on my left here is the sitemap where I have all the relevant tabs called accounts, contact, case. So I can do the case management, account management, contact management using the tabs here on the sitemap. And let it load, and I can see that I have few active cases. Then I also have separate views. If I open any one of the case, and I have separate views, and if I move on to all cases, so these are the total cases that I have in this environment. And if I move down, I can see that there are other options called queues, knowledge articles, knowledge search, and at the very bottom we have different options called service, where we are right now. And then we also have scheduling is a part of customer service. Let's say there's a scenario where we have to send a physical technician to a customer's place to get a servicing done or a product checked. This is why we have scheduling option. And otherwise this is a part of field service altogether. Now at the top we have a few options. We have this search bar, where we can search anything. If you want to search any entity or if you want to search any case, you can search directly. And then we have this plus icon, which helps you create quick cases. And then we have advanced find. If we click on this funnel icon, it brings a list of table where we can add filter. If you want to add an advanced filter with different validations, you can do that using this filter. And if I move on, there is a settings icon next to it. And then we have Teams chat integration, which is the inbuilt Teams chat built in Dynamics 365. And then the last bit is the Copilot, which I was talking about earlier. Copilot, you can write anything with on Copilot. You can write about an entity, write about a case, write about a customer, write about an account. Copilot will bring that out for you. So if I move on to the case tab and I see I have my active cases, these many active cases are active here. And if I click and open any one of them, and the first thing I want to show here is the business process flow. You see this line, this area where I have where my cursor is on. This is called the business process flow, and there are different fields on the business process flow. What is a business process flow? If there is a new user and that user needs guides to use the customer service application or a workflow, which step to work on next. So business process flow guides the user, and the fields on the business process flow are the fields on the page, and it just prompts the user to take the next step. And then this area, the entire area, is called the timeline. Everything related to this case will be available on this timeline. And if I go back, I don't have a lot of data here. And if I go to a different case, let's say if I go to the first case here, and it opens the same page but just a different case, and I see that this has a little bit more data. I can see the timeline has some fields populated, some activities there. I can see that I have made these many activities. I've sent an email to the customer. Every activity that I make here will be reflected on the timeline. If I go up and see, I have these recent cases, and then if I move on the details tab, I can see the other relevant detail fields that needs to be populated. Depending on your case, you'll be filling them, and it's either mandatory or something that's relevant to your case. And the fields that have star beside it is a mandatory field, and that needs to be filled for the case to save. And then I have case relationship. Case relationship are nothing. It's just if we want to merge two cases, and suppose there is a IT outage in your organization, and your IT manager asks you to create separate cases for the IT team for separate users. So all those separate cases that the users create will be linked to a parent case, master case, and that is how the case relationship field is used to merge the cases or make a parent-child relationship case. So and then I have SLA field, so I can define my SLAs here depending on your organization needs and how your deal is with your partner or customer. You can create an SLA field there. Again, the SLA is configured on the customer service admin center, and right now everything looks good to me. I can click on the resolve case button to resolve the case, and but I just click on the resolve button and I just provide the resolution that this case is resolved, and then this case will be closed. This is how a case is manually done, and I'll show you how a case is actually manually opened right now. Now let's say I get a phone call from a customer and regarding a request, and I open a case manually. So let's say I get a request for a price information guide for a specific product. So I'll just put the title of the case as request for a price information, and then I'll put the subject as query information. Okay, and the customer, I choose Oliver. Origin is phone call. Then I use a product. I choose a product. I'll use this product. And okay, we don't have entitlements. For entitlements, we have to define the entitlements again on the admin center. And then we add an activity. We add a phone call activity that we will have a call, or we already had a call. Since the initial phone call was before the case creation, I'll just add a phone call activity for the initial call that we already had. Just put the details here. Yeah, put the due date as tomorrow, and okay, I missed the mandatory field. Okay, I missed the subject field. I'll add the subject field there. Put in as price information guide, and then save. Once I save it, the activity is on my timeline, is displayed on my timeline. And then maybe I also send an email regarding the initial, what, suppose I just need to ask him what is the exact requirement on the price list, and when is the suitable time to have the second phone call, because I wanted to understand their requirement clearly. So here is what I wanted to show you. So I'll use Copilot to draft the email just to make the life of the customer service representative easier. It won't take so much time. I'll just write that I need to draft an email for the customer, for this specific customer. So Copilot already knows which record I'm referring to, who is the customer here, because I've already chosen Oliver Morgan, the name of the customer, on the main page there. So I just use a prompt. I need to draft an email for the recipient asking him about what sort of price information guide he requires and when is the suitable time for a phone call. And I'll just generate an email. The Copilot will draft an email automatically for me, which has already saved a lot of my time. So I'll just generate the email. Here you go. And okay, I'll just use the keep it option. I'll just keep this email. I have read the email and it looks fine to me. And I'll use the send button here, and it will send the email directly to the customer. This is how Copilot seamlessly makes the customer service representative's lives easier. And once I have that email sent, then I have that reflected on my timeline as well. And then if I go to the details tab and I want to fill separate information, other additional information like what was the type of the request, was it a phone call, and if you want to fill the fields on the business process flow, you can do it. Those are not mandatory. Some fields will always be mandatory and they will always automatically be populated once you fill the fields on the main page. So we don't need case relationship here, because I don't have a separate case which I want to merge with or which I want to relate with. So I think it looks good to me for now. And then and then I will just mark as complete because I have already done the initial phone call. And if I use the case summary option, and Copilot is already summarizing, because I have little bit of data. We don't have a lot of data here, but Copilot still summarizes pretty good information about what is available on this page and with this case. So this is how a manual case is created. And if I want to assign this case to a different queue, suppose you have a queue and you have an escalation queue, you are not able to solve this case, you don't know, and you want to send it to a marketing team, you can send it. They'll have a separate queue, you can send it to a separate queue, and then if I want to resolve this case, I'll just resolve this case like I showed you guys before. And now I wanted to show how a queue and a routing is done in customer service, so that we can route a case to a different queue or route a case to a different user or a team if required. Suppose you are on leave and you wanted all your cases to be routed to your colleague, and you can do that. Now for this we have to go to the admin center, Copilot's admin center. First I want to show you what is available on the admin center from Copilot's perspective. If I go into the productivity tab here, and I can see that there is so many options to manage Copilot here. If I click on any one of the option here, I'll see options to enable Copilot automatic recommend email templates and stuff like that, and it's pretty intuitive. If you read and enable the option, if it'll enable it for you, and it'll also enable the option for knowledge base, and I'll just save it. And there are other options as well. If I go out, I'll save it and go out of this window. Okay, if I go into the productivity tab again, I can see that there are so many other options. Depending on your needs, you can manage these options and enable or disable them. And if I go to the queues option, I can see basic queues and routing dialogues. If I go to the basic queues manage option, I'll see that only one queue is active, which is my own queue. And if I want to activate a new queue, I'll just create a new queue, add the user's email address. If I want to add a queue for my colleague, I can add his email address, incoming email, all the relevant informations are there. I just have to fill them. And if I want to add a mailbox to the queue, I can do that as well. So I am not adding a queue here, but I just wanted to show you this is how a queue is created. First I wanted to show you how routing is done. So if I go to the routing option here and I go to manage unified routing, I can enable the unified routing option here. Unified routing means different conversations, different inquiries from different channel will be routed to specific queues. Suppose a phone call or a email inquiry will be routed to a queue which maybe needs less attention than a phone call inquiry. So depending on the business requirement, you can add different rules there. So I'm trying to add a new routing rule here. So I've press the new button and I'll try and create a new routing here. So what I'll do is, and whatever routing you create, you have to activate this. So I'll create a new routing here and I'll just name it as case queue routing, and I'll add validations or rules. Suppose I'll route it to a user. Suppose I want all my cases to be routed to my colleague. So I'll just write a condition here. You don't need, it's very basic understanding of what you want, the flows, and just select it. Suppose I want the case which is equal to the latest one. Anything related to this case I want to be routed to my colleague. So my case name was price list. I'll just search it with the name. Price request for price information guide. I'd add one more validation here, and owner. Since I'm the owner, So I'll choose owner equals to Dipayan. So any case, any inquiries for this case where I am the owner will be routed to end user, my colleague. I'll just type my colleague's name. Yeah, and then I'll save the rule. So now I have set a routing rule and I'll activate the rule. So everything looks good to me. I'll activate it here. Once it's activated, now we have the routing rule activated. Now we'll have to assign this routing rule to a particular queue if we want. Now I don't want to assign it to a queue. I have assigned it to my my colleague's queue. But if I want this to be assigned it to a particular queue, and then we can do that as well. We'll just have to make a queue. I am not making any queues here, so I'm just explaining how this can be done. So you can make a new queue, like press the new button and then make a new queue, and then you can assign that routing rule to this queue. So this is how queues and routings are done in customer service, and this is a very basic thing that I did. And there are tons of different things you can do, and you can assign it to a different work stream. You can assign different rules for the different work stream depending on your organizational needs. And this is again a visual representation of how cases are managed using queues. It just makes the lives of customer service representatives easier. And queues can also be public and private depending on your need. You can just define them on the customer admin center. So yeah, this is pretty much what is covered in the customer service video, and I hope I was clear. At Simply Dynamics, we'll partner with you to implement Dynamics 365 tailored to your customer service that your organization needs, providing ongoing consultancy and support to help you maximize its benefits. Please get in touch to discuss a solution for your business. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. Have a great day ahead.